Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity, and I would also like to apologize for arriving a little bit late. I have probably missed on some of the presentation that would have maybe collaborated well with the presentation that I'm going to do here. It is always important to attend at other speakers so that you don't repeat what it has been said. So, and also thank Tendani for allowing me as a very young person to come here and share the knowledge. I chose this subject, this topic, collaboration involving others, within the context of where I'm coming from education. So this presentation will be within teaching and learning, and also we can involve leadership and so on and so on. So collaboration is a topic that people might seem that maybe it is something that is obvious, something that people know that we are collaborating. Because when I started in my position as an HOD, we will submit those universities that we are collaborating with. So we will submit because we are requested to do that. But now there's more, there's more beyond this collaboration. It is not just to collaborate. So we find that sometimes we don't understand well what this collaboration means. We just think coming together and then we are collaborating. But now it is also important to consider it, especially in our classroom with teaching and learning, because our students, obviously, they are the leaders of the future, as the previous speaker said. The purpose of this collaboration with others is to engage collaboratively and maturely in building relationship with the peers, business, industry, and students through the facilitation of a range of communities of practice, and to develop a cooperative learning environment designed to enhance knowledge development, teaching, and professionalism. Our students, while they are still learning, according to our strategic plan, we really want to be working together with the industry, because whatever we are doing, it must be relevant, and also it must respond to the industry. So it is very much important to collaborate with those industry and businesses. So if we may integrate this topic of collaboration within our teaching and learning, our students will start to collaborate, to work together with the industry at an early stage. And then the objectives is to understand the meaning and the value of a collaboration in the teams, the knowledge of the characteristics that contributes to and are strengthened by collaboration, what characteristics that involve collaboration, and also an understanding of the value of professional collaboration and communities of practice, and the ability to facilitate and to contribute to the discipline-specific communities of practice, including the online communities. We are adding the online communities because most of the collaboration, they happen through digital platforms. Why must a person collaborate? Like when we are saying, if you are trying to understand, what is this collaboration? Why must I collaborate? Because I know myself that I'm very good at what I'm doing. So how do you prefer? This is the question that a person must ask and also try to answer. How do you prefer to work or to learn as a student? And perhaps you like working alone, or working on a task until you feel you have got it, because the majority of us, we like to work in silos. Sometimes we are not planning, but you find yourself working in silos or alone. And then maybe you would like to be part of a team, sharing thoughts and ideas about a challenge you share. And sometimes you might look for advice from experienced colleagues when planning how to tackle a specific challenge. The example, the learning about new technologies. This might to read on your own about how it has been used and what advantage it can offer. That one you can do it alone. But if you are sharing a common interest in the technology with friends or colleagues, you might also consider sitting down together, sharing your questions and ideas for using a particular technology. When you know that the colleagues elsewhere have already started using it, it would make sense to contact them to see what they have discovered, how does it improve their work. The understanding is to explore what collaboration means in the context of your work and considering how best to engage with colleagues in your own subject discipline, other lecturers in your college and people who work in similar areas but in another colleges. We can also add the industries, the business, other universities within our network spaces. The concept of collaboration also extends to your relationship with the people who work in business and the industry, who have vested interest in the successful training of students as the future employees. These communities of people will only be able to communicate effectively if there is a deliberate effort to make and sustain regular and constructive contact through what we widely known as communities of practice. Your role in taking responsibility for leading and guiding the process of communicating will serve as a model for others to follow. And another question is now when, why, and how to work collaboratively. Working collaboratively is widely acknowledged to have value when it is used. So you need to collaborate with other stakeholders at the right time. Think about your own situation with appropriate people. You don't just collaborate with anyone just because they are saying you need to collaborate. Who do you collaborate? And then you start collaborating with anyone whom you see is close to you. And the last one is for the good reason. You need to make sure that the collaboration it is serving a specific purpose. And working collaboratively with colleagues in your subject discipline, when do you have discussion with your colleagues? We do collaborate again within the subject as educators and lecturers. The question is, when do you start to discuss with your colleagues collaboratively? And who do you communicate with within your colleagues? Do you go to the administrator, the lecturers? Do you go to the management? Those are the questions that you need to be clarified on. Why do you think it is important to talk to these people? And what is it that you are going to discuss with them? Who leads this collaboration, and then how it is maintained? Collaboration with relevant people in business and industry when planning for a work-based practical experience for our student. Who takes responsibility for setting up the work-based practical experience, and what kind of discussion take place in these processes? And what benefits are there for the lecturers, the students, businesses, and industry? Because work-based practical experience, every program is having it. But do we understand that what is it that we are going to benefit by collaborating with these stakeholders? This is one of the examples of the tools that can be useful to help starting a process in an organized and structured way as a simple action plan, just to ensure that ways of working together are not simply haphazard or occasional or unsustainable. So this is the tool that when you start the collaboration, you can work on. On this column, it is where you're going to write down who do you want to collaborate with. That is the first one. The second one, what is the purpose? And then how should we the collaboration happen? When must it happen? And also the benefit. By working through this tool, it might give us a direction of having the collaboration that at least it is to our benefit. The other thing is the issue of knowing yourself and understanding other people. Personal characteristics and abilities that are particularly relevant for setting up, organizing, and sustaining effective professional collaboration. The abilities identified in the outcome are, because when we are doing the collaboration, this is a task that we are doing, the benefit, the how, and everything. But are we looking at ourselves? Do we know ourselves? Do you know the people that you are going to collaborate with? So these are the characteristics of people who can collaborate well, the ability to listen well. So in a group, we need to listen to one another. If we are only going to listen to one person, sometimes it is not a collaborative effort. So it is important that a person has that ability. The ability to communicate effectively. Sometimes we will think that the communication is well received to the members whom you are collaborating with. So it is important that we look into these characteristics of effective communication. The ability to embrace and resolve differences. So as different people who are coming from different background, and then when we collaborate for a specific reason, but we bring in different expertise. So it is also important to embrace and resolve our differences, and the ability to build agreement that honors the voices of the group. Sometimes in a group, if maybe it is me and Delicious Kosana who feel, you know what, here in this space, my voice won't be heard that much, I will rather keep quiet, you see. So it is always important to build that agreement to honor the voices of the other people within the group, and the ability to manage the emotions. Emotions are critical. I think the previous speaker talked about the emotional intelligence. That is also the characteristics that people within the group must have the ability to it. And lastly, the ability to embrace multiple perspectives, because when we sit down, be open to different perspectives and also ideas and innovation and creativities that the group members are bringing in. This is just an example. Being angry or frustrated is something that everyone experiences at the work from time to time. You can probably remember an occasion when the management make a decision that is unpopular, or when a new policy was introduced and most people felt it was simply a waste of time, or forcing changes to something that was already familiar or working well. The value of this kind of reflection is when it makes you ask questions about whether your reaction was something you were in control of, or whether you said or you did the things that you did you later regretted. Perhaps you are a colleague who is well known and admired for being balanced and calm. Are you in the habit of consciously assessing your emotional state before reacting or making a decision? What could you do to become better at this kind of a social skill? These are the situations that we are finding ourselves in. So this again is another example. This is a picture of the whole body listening. The body language is also an important part of effective communication. What does this picture suggest about appropriate body language? This picture tells a story about listening as an active process that involves visual contact. Sometimes if we're in a group, working collaboratively. If the contact is not that well, people might feel that if you are not looking at them, you are not recognizing them. And also the physical response, the body position and the posture, cognitive connection, whether are you thinking, do you give a thought of what is being said, and the effective connection, those are the emotion. It is easy to see or to realize that these people in my group are happy about what I've just raised. And together this form the cues to tell us if someone is listening fully to what we are trying to convey. By understanding the importance of emotional intelligence again, whole body listening is fundamental to establishing and maintaining healthy personal and professional relationships. So it's not surprising that effective collaboration depends heavily on this key emotional intelligence skill. From the first moment of contact with the colleague or manager or industry-based associate, the quality of relationship is established through excellent communication skills and always underpinned by the ability to listen closely, attentively with these people on a specific purpose. And again, outlining a process a process that you might use to encourage a strong working relationship with either the management or the people from the business or industry. Awareness of others. You need to be aware of other people. If you are not aware, it might mean that you don't know. We find that most of our graduates, they are having their degrees, but they are sitting home simply because they are not aware that there are companies that are looking for them. And showing the interest. Sometimes if you are looking for a job or applying for the job, if you don't show interest, sometimes the company might have a different perspective on that. And being sensitive is also an important fact. Choosing the right words when you are working with people or when you meet people in the industry, you need to choose the right word. You don't have to say, I am Dr. Skosana. Sorry. Okay. Sometimes you'll say, I am Dr. Skosana from this University of Technology. You expect people to listen to you. It is not as obvious as it might seem. And also joining the dots. You need to connect with different people. Collaboration again is more than a teamwork, especially because each individual who works in this way contributes his or her unique skills and abilities in supporting a common goal and the whole group's success. But only if trust, openness, and adaptability, all closely linked to this emotional intelligence, are well established. Okay, thank you. These are the advantages of working collaboratively with towards a specific goal. Active participation by exploring and learning from each other is very much important, because if you are not active, then you won't get a space. So the advantage of working collaboratively is that each member will get a chance to work, to be actively, and also to explore learning from one another. And also to be able to experience a wide range of thoughts and opinion on a subject from working with these peers. The leader becomes a facilitator of shared responsibilities. It's not like you become the only person who is responsible. So it becomes a shared responsibility. A deeper level of understanding can take place within groups as group members delve into subjects that they are interested in. So you cannot be part of a specific collaborative group if you're not interested. You need to share the interest. The groups can be assigned topics based on skills levels or difficulty. Why assigning different topics to different individuals? Because of the different expertise group members are bringing into the collaborative group. And groups, even in their subject or products may be different from the members. The disadvantage in this collaborative working is that not all people work well with others. Sometimes, as my introduction said, it is not easy to collaborate, to work within a group. So there are those people whom it is difficult for them to work with others. So it is important that these are the type of the skills that is instilled from when the students are still at the university level. And then if you are an adult like me, it's a matter of adjusting. You just need to learn it, to work with other people. And this may cause conflict within a group. And this can potentially sabotage a collaborative environment. We have seen a lot of collaborative effort collapsing or not working well. This is due to those individuals that are not working well with others. Not all topics are ideal for group work. Easy or straightforward concept may not be as interesting or successful in collaborative environment. So if you are looking at the different characteristics and you learn from one another and you become part of the group, you will definitely work well. But sometimes if the topics are not, is not an ideal for you, maybe you need to make a decision whether to form part of the group or not. And some members may not do their fair share of work, or certain members may monopolize the task. This can lead to challenging output in a collaborative environment. The chances of success are also limited. Past bad experiences, which is a poorly structured plan and executed activities, this might include when you started the collaboration, you need to know exactly what is it that you are collaborating with. Overuse of group work, not enough information provided through direct instruction, high level of difficulty of the expected task, not enough support or encouragement is given. Sometimes we are working in a group, but you really feel that, you know, I don't feel supported, I'm not supported. There's no encouragement, there's no motivation here. So this limits the chances of success. Being assessed as a group and not individually. There are those individuals who feel that if this collaborative effort fails, I'm also going to fail because I'm part of the group. But if I was given a chance to work alone, I'm going to make it. And also they believe that only some group members do the work, the rest maybe they don't do anything. Not getting on with group members, always the same people. So inappropriate content or methodology, working individually would be more effective. So if you feel that this method, I don't like it, I prefer to work alone. So those are the elements that might make the group not to be successful. The purpose of the exercise is not clear. Why are we doing this? If maybe after a long time you are working with a group, you are asking yourself this question, it means you didn't start at the right foot. You didn't understand exactly what is the purpose of this collaboration. So these are some of the skills that you must start to work on. The forming skills, the functioning, formulating, and the fermenting skills that I've listed. The forming skills are initial set of management skills that help to get groups up and running smoothly and effectively. These skills might include moving into the groups quietly, staying with the group rather than moving around in the room, if maybe it is in a class situation, using a quiet voices that can be heard by members of the group but not by others. Sometimes you find that one group member or the leader in particular will start to shout if you want attention from the group members, and encouraging all group members to participate. So those are the forming skills. The formulating skills refer to a set of behaviors that help students to do a better job of processing material mentality. And this will include summarizing and recording the key points, connecting ideas to each other. It is always difficult to the people who are not used to working with the groups to connect their idea with the ideas of the other people. So this is one of the key issues that is important. You must be able to link whatever idea you have with the next person, and seeking elaboration or expansion of ideas. If you didn't understand well an idea of the other people, just seek for the expansion of that idea or elaboration. Finding ways to remember the information and checking explanation and also the ideas. The fermenting skill are a set of skills needed to resolve cognitive conflicts that arise within the group, and these are critiquing ideas without criticizing people. So it is important that in a collaborative environment we deal with the ideas, not the people. Synthesizing diverse ideas, asking for justification or extending other people's ideas, and probing for more information. So again, it is always important to be patient when you are working with other people. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.